I'm looking comfy in this video. Uh, this is supposed to say three timbers, but it's cold in here. So I'm wearing the sweatshirt that I found in my truck. Anyways, let's hop right in. So you guys are curious how to quote your lawn care business. How do you quote every single lawn and how do you make that repeatable over and over and over again? Believe it or not, we have hundreds of contracts and we don't even show up to the contract. And we're within a margin of error where it's fine. We can do it all through GIS mapping. This is how we do it. Now, let me just explain when we first started, we didn't have our quotes nearly as dialed as we have them now. So, when we first started, we had no idea how long it took to cut a lawn. So, if you know how long it takes you to cut a lawn, how many square feet, whatever else, you can skip this part. But for those of you just starting, here's what we did. When we had no idea how to cut a lawn and how long it would take us, so we didn't know how to quote it, and I'm gonna pull something up here. Jeez, I already tried this once and clearly I gave it away, but I think I'm just gonna follow through here because it was difficult. So, you know what, guys? I take it back. Let's delete it. Okay. So, when we first started and we didn't know what we were doing, we went out to a random grass field. Okay. And this field, we blocked off an area that was, let's say, 100 by 100. Um, Someone's distracting me. And what we did is, oh, perfect. That's not what I wanted. So we'll just put this here. It was 100 by, put it over here, 100. Okay. So 100 by 100, that's 10,000 square feet. Okay. So this whole thing, just do it again. 10,000 square feet. It's the size of this area. So we put cones here, 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 and here. We measured it out. And what we did is we actually got on our grandstand, so our riding mower, and we started a timer, click, and we went, goodness, let's do a different color. Oh, guys, this is a difficult thing. All right, so we got on a mower and we just went up and down, up and down, up and down, and we timed it. Okay. So at the end of that, we took that time and we said, all right, we ended up doing, let's see here. We'll just say that it took us like 15 minutes to do 10,000 square feet. So 10,000 square feet was mowed in 15 minutes. So we took that, and you guys can always reach out if you have any questions. But we took that and we said, all right, there's 43,560 square feet in an acre. So roughly, we would say it takes us about, what is the actual math? You want the actual math? We'll do the actual math here. Um, 43,560 divided by 10,000, because that's how much we mowed. So that's 4.356 times 15 minutes. So on average, it would take us 65 minutes to actually do the mowing portion of this. All right. So we have an idea of that, how long it'd take us to do an acre. Then what we did, we'll switch out this color. We took a weed whacker and we outlined it. Okay. So we timed it. We went around. It's so difficult. So I had like a whiteboard. We timed it and my wife's texting me, so I gotta make sure she's okay. Um, so went around the outline and we timed it so we know 100 plus 100 plus 100 plus 100. It's 400 linear feet of weed whacking, right? So 400 feet of weed whacking, let's just say, takes us, what do you guys think that would take? I've not weed whacked in a long time. We'll say it takes 10 minutes. All right. And then what we did is we took a blower and we blowed the whole thing, blow, 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 pretended we were blowing the whole thing. So then all of a sudden we had more data where it was like, all right, it takes us probably 10 minutes to blow 10,000 square feet. Okay. So with this information, we were able to do the rough math on it and figure out that it takes us X amount of time to mow per square foot, takes us X amount of time to weed whack per linear foot, and then it took us X amount of time to blow per square foot. So we were able to come up with our rough numbers of how long it takes us per square foot to do everything. All right, so with that rough math, we were able to start putting together our handy dandy Excel spreadsheet because we were able to say, like, if a lawn was X size, right? So we'll say 12,000 square feet. We knew if it was grass of 12,000 square feet, and edging of 700 linear feet, and hardscape, that's like your driveway, your patios, your decks of 1,800 square feet. We were able to do the rough equation of how long that would take us to take care of that lawn, right? So it would take us 49 minutes to do that. One guy, 49 minutes. So roughly lawn care cost is 43 bucks because we can just pound out these lawns really quick. So that gave us the ability to price our lawns quickly. And then from there, we started gathering data as quick as we could. So once we got clients, we'd go do a spring cleanup. We would mark how long it took us to do that spring cleanup, and then we would archive that, right? So as we did more and more lawns, we'd archive how long it took us to do a spring cleanup, how long it took us to do a fall cleanup, how long it took us to mulch, how long it took us to dethatch, how long it took us to aerate. So eventually we got it down to a science in which we knew how long it would take and we know what our rates are for each category. Therefore, we are able to price everything very quickly, right? And so if you're in Minnesota, this will probably be pretty darn competitive for you. If you're really anywhere in the Midwest, it's probably going to be relatively competitive. So let's do this quick and let's see what it looks like. Okay. So what happens when someone calls us? And and you know what? If this is like mind-bogglingly poorly explained, reach out and say, "Hey, I know how long it takes me to mow this size lawn. Can you please help me with the spreadsheet?" Happily. I might even make edits to that spreadsheet to fit what you need if you reach out and ask nicely. Um, so in this scenario, let's say uh, we'll go with what would be good. Okay, how about this apartment building that we mow? So this is Google Earth Pro, so you can just get it on your computer, and it's really cool because it shows you all these properties. So I'm looking at this lawn right now, right? This is apartment building. And, at this moment, this is showing me Google Earth, September 2024. So you can see it's easy for me to tell what's lawn, what isn't. But, sometimes with Google Earth, if we were fooling around with this, we might have a house like this that has a lot of trees. So what's cool about Google Earth, you can look at different snapshots. And like in Minnesota, a big one that we use is like usually 2018, because 2018, there's usually a lot of snapshots closer to the city that just had no leaves. Anyways, getting off topic, but that is a cool thing about Google Earth. You can change the pictures. So for this one, if I'm gonna look at it, it's kind of like, huh, which one is the clearest? Oh, I'm happy with this one. Okay, so here's how we use our spreadsheet. We are very curious about our spring, fall cleanups, all of that. So when we do a spring or fall cleanup, we're cleaning up this entire thing, right? Like we have to clean up the entire yard. We have to clean up all of the parking lots. We got to clean up behind these garages. We got to clean up the side here. So we start with the polygon ruler and we measure the whole lot. All right, so right up here we see 49,594 feet. That's how big this lot is. So we head over to our Excel, put in 49,500 and was it 594? I don't remember. So that's what we put in for our yard size. This is the whole yard. So you could see when we did that, we all of a sudden have our spring cleanup cost of $618. We have our fall cleanup cost of $926. At the moment, if I get rid of these, you can see we don't have prices on these. This is pulling from something wrong. Um, but yeah, so we have prices on our spring and fall because that has nothing to do with grass. It just has to do with square footage and size. But we don't have fertilization. We don't have our lawn care costs, nothing like that. So you see, as we go back, where is it? We're actually going to make this a little more narrow. So I'm making it smaller because this roughly is the size of the lawn, right? So I know that it goes along the building, goes along here, comes down over here, boom, 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 here. All right, look at that. So that's all grass. So now we know the square footage of the grass is 22,746 square feet. So what we will do is we are going to just pop this in at 22,746 square feet. You can see, boom, it started to populate the lawn cost, started to populate the fertilization, started to populate the dethatch, overseeding. Now, at this moment, the numbers that are accurate are our spring cleanup, our fall cleanup. Fertilization, because that is just square foot and per square foot of lawn. So how we price that out is we figure out how much lawn there is, and we know how much our fertilizer costs per square foot, and we know how long it takes us to spread that per square foot. So there's a multiple here, right? This is the cost per application. So every single time we go out, it's going to cost $171 to do this apartment building. We do 6 fertilizations. So this automatically multiplies this number by 6 for us. So we know exactly, yeah, how many times we're going to fertilize and how much that's going to be for the season. The other thing we have for a price is dethatch. 84 bucks to do this. We just have a simple dethatcher that goes on the front of a riding lawnmower, so we just go in and out really quick. Then we have an aeration and overseeding price. This is time. And also, okay, there's a bunch of factors in here that I should probably go in greater detail on, but this essentially takes the time of mowing and doubles it because it usually takes us twice as long to aerate as it does mowing. And then basically we take the square footage of the grass and divide it by 1,000 because we want to know how many thousands there are in that lawn. And then we multiply it by 5 because we lay 5 to, well, we do 5 to 10 pounds of seed per square and per 1,000 square feet. Then we multiply it by the price of our grass seed per pound. Okay, so that was a lot. So we do have that price, which is great. It's going to cost $750 to aerate and overseed that place. But what we don't have yet is we don't have our actual lawn care costs because at the moment it's only calculating how big the grass is. The other thing we need to know is how much edging, you know? There's obviously trees and stuff in here, but we have found that we're within the margin of error if we just look at like the outline here. Like we're gonna have to go along the parking lot, we're gonna have to go along this building, to go along this building, along this parking lot. We'll have to go along the street, and then honestly, we won't have to go along this area, but there's trees and stuff, so we'll just take this whole area. Say the perimeter is 2,196 feet. All right, so the edging amount, 2,196. That's how much edging we have to do. And wow, look at that lawn care cost has gone up quite a bit. But we also don't have the blowing in yet, right? Takes time. Takes time to blow, so we got to get that in there, right? So we're going to just remeasure because this has a big old parking lot, and this client likes to have the parking lot blown every time. So we're going to blow this whole thing, get this in. We're going to get these sidewalks blown for them. This in here, going to blow this sidewalk. Always remember, when we get down here, no one likes a dirty street. So believe it or not, we're going to blow along this entire street line out to about 4 feet. Boom. Our 16,000 square feet of blowing. See, that takes some time. So luckily we have that added into our spreadsheet. So let's say 16,000. We'll just do 16,000 even. So you can see it. About $123 to mow this lawn every week. So at this point, we have our lawn care costs per visit, our spring cleanup, our fall cleanup, our fertilization cost per visit, fertilization for the season, our dethatch price. And look at these prices went up. You know why? Because these are multiples of how much the lawn is. Aeration takes twice as long. So we added more labor to this. Dethatch, 1.85 times the amount um, of time as it takes us to do lawn care. So multiplied by our lawn care price. Boom. The one thing that we don't have, you guys can do power spraying. You cannot. We offered it for a bit. We don't do it anymore, but it's already in here mathematically. Um, let's say this person has a landscape bed. Sorry for bringing you to whoever that dude was. Um, let's say this guy has mulch beds that he wants refreshed all the time. Believe it or not, it's nice and easy. We just go around. Let's say the mulch beds are all the way around his building. He does it every spring. So we come in here, we go, whoa, mulch beds are this big. Finish outlining the building. Let's say it's got 2,800 square feet of beds. Um, so we put this in here as landscape beds, and this is going to auto-populate how much mulch we need at a depth of 3 inches. Mulch $50 base price per yard, $50 install per yard, delivery cost, total mulch cost. So this was like me trying to go kind of quick, but this is essentially how we quote lawn care. Get a phone call, we get an email, we get a request on our website, and we just pull it up on Google Pro, outline it, put in all that math right there, right here, and we just get our outcome. We take this math and we just send it out, send it out to the client. We're within a margin of error. We make these things tighter and tighter every year because we do more and more lawns every year. We have more and more data every year. Um, and we just keep making it better every year based on more and more visits. So you might have to adjust this thing to meet your business. Okay. Like you might have to adjust the price, you know, how much you're willing to charge. You might have to adjust how long it takes you to do stuff. Um, these are all variables that are going to change for your business. Fall cleanup might take longer because you might not have a large vacuum, or you might have a lot more leaves in your area than we have, or you might not have any at all. So, those are all factors you have to take into account, which are Yeah, it's really important. So this is how we quote basic lawn care stuff. Reach out if you have questions because we're always happy to help.